Now we will officially start. So y'all come to your back, same place where we started last week in our supported fish pose, using a block if you have, or a long bolster along the spine. Now, before you really drop down, I'm going to encourage you to place your feet together, knees apart, and bring a block or a pillow under either knee. And then also what's going to be different this week than what we did last week, I encourage you to just see, as you walk that block in between the shoulder blades, just see to start out, see if you can allow the head to drop back so that the front of the throat is really open, almost like the crown of your head comes to the mat. Now, for some of you, that will be coming way past your edge and you just can't do that. So then don't do it, and place a block or a pillow behind the head so that your head is more supported. And then let the arms spread wide, palms face up. So finding just a super open position here. And take a big breath in through the nose. Let it go. 2 more cleansing breaths. Audible breath of release. So we're working with tonight the throat chakra, also known as the Vishuddha. And I think I'm really butchering that Sanskrit, so my apologies. And the element with this chakra is actually sound. And so we're going to play with sound tonight with our breath and also a little bit of chanting. So it'll be a little bit of a different class and hopefully fun for you. And a restorative throat chakra practice is going to aim to invigorate and loosen the head, neck, and face. And so those are the particular parts of the body that we'll be working on tonight. You can imagine as just the physical act of smiling can lighten your mood. You might even try it and just see what happens as you allow your lips to draw a smile. So too can playing with the muscles involved in speech and expression revive the chakra that supports them. That's just what this throat chakra does. It helps us to find our fullest expression, to speak and be in our truth. And in doing so, find a sense of purification and refinement. So in short, saying what we need to say. And also listening to what needs to be listened to. An affirmation that you can carry with you through this practice is, I express myself freely and joyously. I am worthy of being listened to. You can even say that out loud if you like, to really just begin to soak that into your awareness. I express myself freely and joyously. I am worthy of being listened to. I'll say that one more time. I express myself freely and joyously. I am worthy of being listened to. Take another big breath in and let it go. For the next few more rounds of breath. We just have a few more moments here. And if you'd like, you can straighten your legs out long. And we'll find that Brahmari breath, also known as buzzing bee breath. So place, what it looks like is fingers or maybe palms, plug the ears, and you breathe in through the mouth, keeping the lips shut. You hum out, so you sound like a buzzing bee. Just go ahead and start with me when you're ready. We're gonna do 5 rounds. Inhale and buzz. After you've completed your 5 rounds, release your hands. Roll off your block to one side. Push the block to the side and just notice what it feels like to have the whole body supported by the earth. Legs extended, toes pointing to the corners of the mat. Just feel the sensations that arose from that Brahmari breathing. From the vibrations that stemmed from within you. And the vibration that is actually that of the whole universe. And then begin to rock the head side to side. Feeling just very gentle, subtle massage behind the head. And then come to the center. And we will stay on our back just for one more moment while we find a crescent pose. So walk your feet over to the right side of the mat. Let the left ankle cross over the right. See if that's too much, then just allow the left foot to be next to the right. So just coming to that stretch edge. We'll extend the arms over the head, and you can just leave the arms there as you just fold the arms and the legs to the right. Or you can bring the right hand to the left wrist just as a gentle guide. And take 5 long, full breaths through the left side of the body. You might even count in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds. See if you can relax even more. Drop the shoulders towards the earth. And when you've completed your 5 rounds of breath, come back to the center. Allow the arms to spread wide, coming into a 5-point star. And once again, just pausing long enough to notice the sensation of dissipation. And then work your way over to the other side. So I noticed when I was doing this practice by myself earlier that there were a few spaces on this left side that were catching. And so I couldn't quite go as far as I did on the other side, and also as far as I usually do. Of course, a part of me wanted to judge that. A part of me wanted to grasp and force myself into the depth that I'm used to. But the wise side knew just to relax into whatever was available and to accept it just as it is. And so I invite you to do the same. Just come to that first stretch sensation. No judgment, no criticism, just allowing it to be what it is. And then find that even steady breath, maybe counting for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. You can do that on your own if you'd like. And then when you've completed 5 breaths, come back to the center and just rest. Just notice. And in your own time, slowly begin to make your way to a seat, an easy cross-legged position, and place a block or pillow under your tailbone so that your knees can be in line with the hips. So coming into Sukhasana. And we'll begin with a chant. You can close your eyes or just find a soft gaze down towards the earth. And the chant that we'll find, or the mantra, is Ham. That's spelled H-A-M. And it allows the yogi to listen and speak at a higher level. And so I invite you to actually do this audibly, as long as you feel safe in the space that you are. And so here we go. We start with Ham, 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 Ham. Keep doing that just for a few more rounds on your own. And then release the chant. And notice for a moment what that brought up. What such a simple phrase can bring to the surface. Maybe you have something has come to you, something that needs to be said. And maybe through the rest of practice, you meditate on what that would look like, what that would feel like, how it can be said. Meditate from the spirit rather than ruminating on it from the mind. And you might, before we get started with other movements, come back to that affirmation. I express myself freely and joyously. I am worthy of being listened to. And then we'll bring palms to heart center. And we'll begin to rub them together. And so we're looking to create heat in between the palms. So press and rub. Like you're trying to start a fire by rubbing two sticks together. And when we've found the warmth of our desire, we're going to place our hands anywhere around the neck, shoulders, jaw, or face. Anywhere that's calling to you. So I've been really sore around my shoulders, so that's where I'm going to place mine. And when you choose to place it there with your highest compassion, highest love. Just nurturing that space with your touch. You might find a gentle massage. Just taking this moment to really connect to your body. So much of what the tension that our physical body holds on to is actually related to what we're holding on to internally. So whether that's ruminating in the mind on heavy thoughts, maybe it's an emotional holding, it can also be more deeper spiritual holdings. And then begin to work your way around to other spaces. And so massaging behind the back of the neck, massaging around the jaw. And when you come to the jaw, you may even allow the mouth just to drop open and guide from the top of the jaw all the way down to the chin. You might massage around the temples, and around the nose and the cheekbones. Maybe in between the eyebrows and on the forehead. And you might even choose to massage the scalp, gently pulling the hair away from the scalp. Just doing here for yourself, maybe what for so long you've been hoping somebody else would do for you. So just being your best form of love and care right now. And you can keep doing that. You can do that the whole class. Or you can begin to rest your hands down and together we'll find a side stretch when you're ready. Let's lift our arms up to the sky. And on the exhale, drop down to the right. Place the right hand next to your side and allow the left arm to drape along the left ear. If you like, you can allow the head to drop down to the right side. And don't so much focus on keeping that top shoulder lifted. Just allow the top shoulder just to do what it wants to do. And since this is a practice focused around the neck, please do with the head, and so therefore the gaze, whatever allows the neck to feel the most ease. Breathing through the left side of the body. And I encourage you to really allow your breath to make sounds tonight. So maybe you've been taught your whole life to stay quiet. And in turn, that's allowed your breath to be quiet, not make any sound, not to be seen, not to be heard. And I tell you tonight to make sound, make your sound. And let the breath go in whatever form it needs to release. Between now and 3 breaths from now, take your time, as slow as possible, rise up. Bring the right hand to the top to meet the left. Be here just for a moment, coming back to center with the spine. And then take a full breath in. Exhale, drop down to the other side. Notice that I'm bending my elbow slightly here. And remember too that you can walk that left hand out really far away from the body if you're wanting a deeper fold. And the key to knowing if you're going past your edge is if you begin to either lose your breath or the breath starts to become shallow. If you notice that happening, then just rise up slightly. Allow the lips to part, the jaw to release its hold. Allow the cheeks to kind of find a sag. Just finding complete heaviness. And then from now and 3 breaths from now, slowly rise up. Palms together at the top. Hands down to heart center. Let's place both hands on the heart. So one hand on the heart and the other palm over that. Just take a moment to be with your heartbeat. To be with that space within you that is full of love and compassion. That is so deeply connected to every layer of you and to other human beings and spirits that you come into contact with. Release your hands to your lap. We're gonna first extend our legs long. Eventually we're gonna cross our legs to the other side, but let's just extend the legs out and give it a little rock at the knees. And you might even massage around the knees or the thighs if you like. And then find a little pat around. And then we'll come to cross-legged on the other side. You can rock side to side on the tailbone, checking to see that you're still comfy in your seat. And then we're going to find a long spine. And on the exhale, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And then begin to nod the head slightly. Maybe just like between 1 inch and 3 inches. So just a real small movement. And again, allow the lips to part. And then find a pause. Choose to stay here or to extend the left arm down, fingertips to the earth. Keep the spine long if you can. Try not to round through the back. So the color of this throat chakra is a sky blue. You might envision that sky blue hue rotating right at the epiglottis, at the base of the throat. On the inhale, bring the head back up to the center. And just take another round of breath here, just maybe noticing the difference between either side. And then inhale. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And then find that subtle nod. Letting the body know with such a gentle movement that it can begin to let go. That it no longer has to hold onto the weight of the world. It's okay just to drop down and just be silent so as to really hear. Pause and extend the right arm long, fingertips to the earth. Makes me think of the song, the Simon and Garfunkel song, The Sound of Silence. And sometimes, especially these days, our world can seem so busy and everybody's so distracted that it seems as if everything is being said, but at the same time, nothing at all. Inhale, rise up to center and just take a moment's breath. And so hence the benefit of movements like this, just to move and be so slow. Turning into silence. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, we'll twist to the right. The left hand around on the outside of the right thigh. The right hand behind the tailbone on the earth. You just lift up onto the fingertips. So twisting from the navel. Again, try not to round through the spine. See if you can stay long. And maybe you guide the gaze over the back shoulder if that's available to you. You can think about inhaling as you lengthen the spine. Exhaling to twist a little bit deeper. Rinsing the body clean, like you're squeezing a damp rag. One more breath. Good. Inhale, slowly rise back up to center. Arms lift up, palms together at the top. Exhale, twist to the other side. Think about lifting up from the center of the heart. At the same time, allowing the shoulder blades to drop down the back away from the ears. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, back to center, arms rise up. Exhale, hands down, heart center. Close the eyes. And I have one more chant for us. This one is Loka Samasta Sukhino. Loka Samasta Sukhino. What that means is may all beings be happy and free. So keep your hands at the heart. Maybe you place both hands over the heart. And say it with me, join with me when you're ready. Loka Samasta Sukhino. 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 Do that a few more rounds on your own. And then release the chant and extend the legs long. Once again, rocking through the knees. You can even lean your hands back and maybe windshield wiper the feet or roll out through the ankles. And we're going to switch our seated posture. This time bringing our feet under the hips and the block or pillow under your tailbone. If that doesn't work for you, then you can also sit on a blanket and just extend the legs long. So if you feel like you really need to have the knees straight, just extend the legs out in front of you. And if you're choosing that option to extend the legs out, put a bolster or something under your knees so that they're not locked out. And we're going to do a fun movement here. We're going to start with our hands behind the head. And as we breathe in, we're going to open the shoulders or the elbows away from each other, lift the gaze up. And as we breathe out, we're going to round through the spine, pull the elbows in towards the temples. So inhale to lift up, open the heart and the throat. Exhale to round through the spine. Inhale to lift. Exhale to close in. Now we're going to tie a lion's breath into this. Keep moving. Inhale's going to stay the same. Exhale, stick the tongue out, roar. Make your noise. Don't be afraid to be heard. Three more. Really let it go. Good. Inhale, rise up. Release the hands. Come to a few rounds of natural breath in and out of the nose. And then come to a seat completely. This time we all extend our legs forward. Push the block to the side. And we'll find Dandasana. So just a momentary pushing away with the palms. Palms next to the hips. Feet flexed. And find a little squeeze of the thighs. So we've been doing a lot of bending through the knees and a lot of release work. And this is another way of release while at the same time extending energy out. And so you can imagine as you push away from the ground, you can imagine you're literally trying to lift your hips up. As you do so, ensure a straight spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head by just gently tucking the chin towards the chest. And then you can stay here, or you can begin to walk yourself forward into a forward fold. If you really like that hamstring stretch, then keep the back long. If you'd like rather to stretch more through the spine and you just like that feeling of being heavy, then let the legs go, let the feet relax, and round through the spine. Let the chin drop in towards the chest. Wherever you're choosing to be, really be there. And so working in finding balance in this throat chakra is tapping into the vocal nature of our interpersonal communication. We don't mean it's not just with others, but communication with the spiritual realm as well. So that means communication with the deeper layers within you. If you think about it, most prayer and meditation from around the world involves speaking to the ether or chanting in some way. Take your time to slowly rise up. And we'll come into cow face pose, also known as Gomukhasana. So we're going to bend the bottom knee with bottom knee. We're going to bend the left knee with the left foot on the outside of the right hip. And that right knee is going to bend stacking on top of the left knee. Okay, so this is like the highest form. A lot of us can't go here, and that's totally fine. So if that's not where you're going, keep the left leg extended and just stack the right knee on top of the left knee with the outside of the right foot on the ground. I hope I said that right. And now what I like to do here, because I find that my right butt cheek is a little bit off the ground, since I have a blanket here, I like to just fold it up and let it wrap around my foot and just bring the fold under my right butt cheek. And that way, both sides of my tailbone are supported. And then what we're going to do from here is extend the arms forward and allow the right arm to come under the left. And start first by giving yourself a hug and seeing if that's where you need to stay. Or maybe you find eagle arms, wrapping the arms all the way around. On the inhale, lift up. And on the exhale, round forward. Let the right elbow rest on the right knee. Invite each exhale to allow just a little bit more of a release. Maybe allowing the chin to be heavier in towards the chest. Maybe the forehead drops into the crease of the left arm. Maybe you relax the thighs and the feet. Maybe eventually what that relaxation looks like is releasing the cross of the hands and just allowing the whole body to round forward and the nose or the lips to rest on the knee. You can always place a pillow or a block on top of that knee and find support of the chest that way so you can still round, but so that the weight doesn't feel completely uncontrollable. Breathe in through the spaces that you're feeling this the most. And allow those audible breaths of release to just pull the tension away from the body. And so while much of our outward appearance is left to the chance game of genetics, apparently how we express ourselves verbally is almost entirely up to our control. At least when we're in a state of balance. Slowly work your way up. And if you used your blanket, just kind of lay it back out on the right side. Take Extend your legs out. Find a hammock pose. And just see about dropping into the shoulder sockets, letting them rise up to the ears, and maybe the chin drops down towards the chest. This hour has gone by so fast. I wish I had more time. We're going to go to the other side. So again, this is my left side, the side that has just something hanging on there in a few different places. So I got to go a little slower, a little gentler. And I need more support on this, under this left butt cheek. So I just share that with you so that you can see that all the things that go into setting yourself up to really be comfortable in these postures. Left arm, or arms forward, left arm under right. First start with that hug. See if this is where you need to be on the side. Maybe go deeper. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, round forward. And so if you come into a position and you find that after just a few rounds of breath, that stretch sensation does not dissipate, that usually means you're going too far. So just come to a place where with very little time, that stretch will release so that you can naturally drop deeper. So taking your time to come to the final form. Breathing through those spaces. You can come back to that visualization of the sky blue light. You can come back to the mantra, hum, hum, hum. So in times of acute emotional distress, so when we are most out of balance energetically, what passes our lips often escapes reason. And even minor imbalances can affect what and how we speak to the world, as well as to ourselves. Also, imbalances in this fifth chakra can leave us feeling hesitant. Our voice may catch in our throat. We may have tendencies towards sarcasm or gossip, or negative emotions that just jump from the lips with no warning. So we find spaces of quiet to listen, moments of stillness, so that we can check in to see what we have going on. Maybe where our imbalances are, so that we can do what needs to be done to release them. When you're ready, take your time to slowly rise up. And once you get to the top, just take a round of breath. No rush going to the next place. And then slowly begin to extend the legs forward once again. Coming into a momentary hammock one more time. Now, on the other hand, a balanced self will tend towards kind speech, honesty, and a healthy ratio of listening to talking. Let's come to our bellies. Coming into just a momentary Sphinx pose. You can also choose Cobra. I'm going to kind of leave this up to you because we won't be here long, just enough to stretch through the front of the body since we've done so much through the back of the body. And so you can find Sphinx with elbows under the shoulders. You can choose to draw half circles with the neck. One of my favorites is finding Cobra flows, so lifting up and then releasing the heart first and then the head. Rising up from the back of the heart, letting the head follow. We'll be here for about 10 rounds of breath. So find the spaces that your body needs right now. And so how we speak to the world around us can be indicative of our present condition. When in harmony, our voices will carry resonantly, but not too loudly. Confidence will shine through in our words, and we will not shy away from opportunities to speak our piece. And so what is your piece? What is it that you need to share? Come back to that visualization of you sharing it. What does it look like? What does it feel like to get that message out? Slowly release all the way down, stacking palms on top of each other, forehead rest on the top of the palm. And rock the hips side to side. And then make your way up. And if you have a wall around you, I encourage you to transition yourself, your mat, so that it's long ways in front of the wall. So we're gonna come to a waterfall position with the feet up the wall. If you don't have a wall, that's fine, no big deal. Just place a block under the hips when you get down to the ground. And you can just lift your feet above the hips, no problem. If you do have a wall and you'd like your hips lifted, bring the block with you. We're going to walk our hips forward towards the wall and then allow the feet to rise up the wall. You can choose to take the block and kind of lift your hips up by pressing the feet against the wall and place the block under the hips if you'd like, right around the place where your pant pockets would be. And if you made that choice and you decided that it doesn't feel so good after all, then no big deal, just release it. And to start here, you might rotate through the ankles. Before even resting your feet, you might even pull the knees back towards the underarms. You can find a straddle position. Do whatever kind of movement you need to before finding another round of stillness and eventually working our way towards Shavasana. And so in this supported waterfall position, you might envision nectar dripping down and pulling at the throat center, nurturing your ability to speak. pool of nectar running down from the soles of your feet and pooling right at the epiglottis, the base of your throat. Finding a sky blue hue that soothes and nourishes this whole energy center, allowing you to express your truth, allowing you to fully listen with openness, with compassion and understanding. You might come back once again to that affirmation. I express myself freely and joyously. I am worthy of being listened to. I express myself freely and joyously. I am worthy of being listened to. You might choose to walk the feet down the wall and lift the hips up, releasing the block. And just keep the feet, if you're going there with me, bring the feet so that they're in line with the knees. Just gently pushing away from the wall. Noticing as the low back presses into the mat. You can stay there. You can find a gentle supine twist, or maybe another happy baby. Preparing yourself for Shavasana. Another recommendation would be plow pose, if that's in your practice. When you get into a space of comfort, you might take another cleansing breath in through the nose. And a loud, audible sigh out. And just be here for a few moments. drop heavier. And just come back to noticing the breath. Let it remain soft. And I have a Rumi poem to share with you. I actually opened up to it randomly after my practice earlier. Totally unexpected. And it happens to be called Talking Through the Door. You said, "Who's at the door?" I said, "Your slave." You said, "What do you want?" "To see you and bow." "How long will you wait?" "Until you call." "How long will you cook?" "Till the resurrection." We talked through the door. I claimed great love and that I had given up what the world gives to be in that love. You said, "Such claims require a witness." I said, "This longing, these tears." You said, "Discredited witnesses." I said, "Surely not." You said, "Who did you come with?" "The majestic imagination you gave me." "Why did you come?" "The musk of your wine was in the air." "What is your intention?" "Friendship." "What do you want from me?" "Grace." Then you asked, "Where have you been most comfortable?" "In the palace." "What did you see there?" "Amazing things." "Then why is it so desolate?" "Because all that can be taken away in a second." "Who can do that?" "This clear discernment." "Where can you live safely then?" "In surrender." "What is this giving up?" "A peace that saves us." "Is there no threat of disaster?" "Only what comes in your street, inside your love." "How do you walk there?" "In perfection." Now silence. If I told more of this conversation, those listening would leave themselves. There would be no door, no roof, or window either. Take a big breath in. And let it go. Begin to find gentle movement in the body. Reawakening. Coming back to the surface. Yet keeping those subtle, deeper qualities that arose within you. Slowly work your way to your seat. Palms together, heart centered. Anjali Mudra. My highest truth sees and hears your highest truth. Namaste.